Hello traders, this is Tom Williams from Opteck. Good day to you all. Today is the 17th of October 2013. As we saw yesterday, we had some sort of an agreement in the United States which gave a bit more confidence. We saw the VIX, which is the fear index, implying how many traders are putting funds and investing funds in the market. We saw that it collapsed 15% down, meaning that significantly the market is feeling more calm and comfortable with trading and entering. As I said yesterday, I'm expecting a variety, an enormous amount of traders to rejoin the market once we will have some sort of confirmation from the United States. We had some sort of an agreement. I'm saying some sort of an agreement because they didn't really agree to do something substantial for now. They agreed to postpone the entire process and just for the meanwhile allowing the government to continue working as it did. So we don't have a specific agreement. We've got some sort of document that says that they will talk about that in the future. Um, that's the way things are. So we can see that the Nasdaq, Dow Jones, and S&P 500 gained more than 1% yesterday. Definitely a good perspective. We can see that the dollar is losing strength in the market. As I said, it's logical. The US market is gaining strength. The dollar itself is losing strength. That's how the economy is working. We saw that we had an announcement on the pound. Now, as you can see, the indication specifically for the pound is good. We will see the effect on the chart and we will measure that. I can tell you that the dollar is just losing more and more strength in the market. The gold is climbing, the silver is climbing, and we will see that through the chart as well. Later on this trading day, we've got the unemployment claims in the United States, a very important announcement, usually on Thursdays. Red announcement, as you can see, usually delivers a lot of liquidity, and specifically right now because last Friday they've cancelled the report for the NFP, the non-farm payroll, and we've got a lot of anticipation for any kind of indication for regarding the U.S. economy, and I'm sure that that will deliver a lot of liquidity to the market. It'll happen in an hour and a half from now. And another good announcement we've got on the US dollar later on this trading day at 3 p.m. GMT time. Let's go to the chart and let's see what is our expectation. So first of all, let's go to the strength index, just as I'm doing always. Looking at the measurement in the market, the potential right now, who's strong and who's weak. Where can I find the better probability in the market? Let's organize the currencies according to the strength indication. We can say that the Australian dollar and the Swiss franc are the strongest right now. We can say that the New Zealand is pretty strong as well, and again I'm always referring to this perspective. New Zealand and Australian dollar located at the same strength indication. Over here we can see 53 on the Australian dollar, 52 on the New Zealand. That's pretty close. That means that the market is expressing very clean and easy to trade structures, and you can trade on a variety of assets. I'm always talking about whether we've got enough liquidity in the market or not, and this is a good market that we've got today. As you can see, the Swiss franc is presenting 56 while the dollar is presenting 42, meaning that we've got more than 10 digits separating between the strongest currency and the weakest currency. That's a good indication that at the moment the market is liquidized and we've got a variety of opportunities, and the indicators will show us a clean and well-known structure as I'm teaching through the webinars. Let's continue arranging the currencies. We've got a 50 over here, the pound. As I said, it received a good announcement, and I wanted to refer to that during the webinar. It received a good announcement that, as you can see, it's approximately at the middle, almost the same as the Japanese yen strength. We can say that the market is separated to three groups today. The Swiss franc, the Australian dollar, and the New Zealand, and even the euro are all the strong group. The pound, the Japanese yen, and the Canadian dollar are at the middle group, and the dollar itself is presenting the weakest group in the market. So any kind of trade, any kind of indication according to our strategy that you will see, dollar in front of the Swiss franc, Australian dollar, or New Zealand, or even the euro will be a good trade. Looking at this chart right now, we've got a great example for a trade on the dollar versus Japanese yen for a put option. As you can see, the stochastic reached higher across, shows us the exhaustion level of the uptrend. The RSI below the 50, significantly below the 50, it's approximately 40, and that shows that the potential is for a downtrend over here, a good potential for trade. For those of you who joined my webinar and see it live right now, you can take this trade. Unfortunately, it'll take time until we'll upload the video, and you won't be able to participate in that one. In this one, sorry, but once it'll collapse, then we'll have another spike higher with the stochastic, and we'll be able to catch another movement lower. Generally, we can say that the Japanese yen again is in the middle. You can say that we've got a variety of currencies that gain strength in front of the Japanese yen, and we've got some currencies that lose strength in front of the Japanese yen. For the last several weeks, we saw the Japanese yen whether the stronger or the weaker one, and we saw strong movements for against the Japanese yen and toward the stronger Japanese yen. Now we can see that the market is mixed. Now we can see that the market is again liquidized, and we've got a variety of opportunities that we can catch later on this trading day, especially after the announcement will be delivered. Let's go and analyze a few assets. Again, I'm usually analyzing the on-demand currencies, then I'm going to the commodities. At the moment, the Australian dollar and the New Zealand will not present good trade because they are approximately the same strength as we saw in front of the Japanese yen. The RSI is between the 52 and 48 area, indicating that we're in a corrective pattern. Australian dollar gained an enormous amount of strength over here. We said that the dollar is weak. We can see this reflected through the chart. At the moment, we've got no indication to join this movement, and I usually receive these questions: when can I join a movement? Whether can I join a movement while it's going, while if it already began? That is a terrible mistake. Any kind of movement, you can't really know when it will end. It might continue its movement higher, it might fall down instantly once you take a trade. The only way to join a trade is after allowing the market to breathe a bit, to release some steam, and that is the corrective pattern. That is where we're joining trades according to our strategy. So at the moment, I will give up trading the Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Australian dollar versus Japanese yen. You see that it's not really reflecting a clean image. Yesterday we've talked about this condition. I said that I'm expecting to see an uptrend, and that was a great uptrend. If I'm not mistaken, I gave the same perspective on the Australian dollar. I think that was over here. I can't remember. Anyway, we talked about that yesterday, and I showed that there's a perspective for a call option, and I showed another chart in front of the Australian dollar. I can't recall which one that was, but never mind. For now, looking at this image, we've got no opportunity coming up at the moment. Again, an additional liquidity will be inserted to the market once we'll have the announcements. Euro versus Japanese yen. Again, the RSI is too close to the 50 level. I can't trade that one. Pound Japanese yen as well. But in this case, look at that. I want you to see this image. Pound in front of the Japanese yen. The RSI is approximately at the 50 level, while the stochastic reached an exhaustion level at the bottom, and the pound versus the US dollar is showing us a great potential for a trade, for a call option, meaning that generally I'm expecting the pound to gain strength in the market. It will do the same move in front of the Japanese yen as it's doing in front of the US dollar. So there's a good potential for an uptrend in front of the Japanese yen and in front of the US dollar toward a stronger pound in the market. But the important issue is what will be a more suitable trading potential, a more suitable trade. In this case, the pound versus Japanese yen is closer to the 50 level, meaning that we're not expecting it to climb significantly, quickly as we need it to. While on the other hand, we've got the pound in front of the US dollar. Already we've got a cross. The RSI is way higher, a good potential for an uptrend, and that will definitely be a good trade to choose. Now that's exactly why we're using the RSI. The RSI is indicating how different the strength between the two currencies. In this case, we're approximately the 50, meaning that we've got approximately equivalent strength between the two currencies. In this case, we can see that the dollar itself is pretty weak, even without looking at the dollar in front of the Japanese yen, which shows us the index of the strength and weakness. Still, you can see definitely that while the Japanese yen was able to pull the pound lower, while the pound lost a bit of strength in the market, the dollar did not make the same move. Generally, from this point until here, and from this point until here, we can see that generally the pound lost some strength in the market. And while the Japanese yen pulled it lower significantly, again significantly in front of the move that we had in front of the dollar, we understand from that that the better move will be in front of the dollar. The better, the higher, the quicker, that shows a better potential in our perspective, the binary option trading perspective. So a call option on a pound versus the US dollar will be a good choice as well. Again, if you're watching a recording and not watching the live webinar, then you can just wait for another pullback on the stochastic so that you'll be able to join this movement higher and higher. No potential over here. We had a great trade that I've placed over here and over here as well. Two good trades. The RSI was significantly higher. That's a 5-minute chart. Whenever the market is quick and I can't trade according to the strategy on a 15-minute chart, then I'm going loyal to the 5-minute chart. Only then the stochastic will be will gain more and more and more strength, and will be able to imitate the move that we can see on the chart. I'll show you this image. 15-minute chart. You can see that the stochastic is squeezed to the higher bar, and we can't receive any accurate indication for that one. Okay, you see that? Over here we had a good trade on a 5-minute, while on a 15-minute we had almost a clean line. Over here we do have a fall, but it did not fall toward the area that we needed to. So the 5-minute chart is indicating a potential once the market is volatile. So as you can see, indeed, the market is continuing higher. I'm expecting the dollar to express an additional weakness, at least until we will receive the announcement regarding the US dollar, the unemployment rate. Sorry. Let's proceed. The dollar versus Japanese yen, I gave this trade as well, a good trade, a 15-minute chart, an ABC climbing up. We've got a nice image. As I said, once the Australian dollar and the New Zealand are approximately at the same area, we've got a very clean structure according to the elite wave analysis. We've got an impulse wave dropping down, a 1, a 2 climbing up, that is the 2. We've got a 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, that is the 4. And from this point, stochastic proving that we've got a potential for a downtrend, RSI way below, a good potential for a downtrend, no question about that. Let's look at the gold and the silver. Again, weakness on the dollar should express long movements, and you can see that that happens on the gold and silver both. Again, once you've got a situation like that, when you've got an enormous liquidity, this is an enormous liquidity, approximately 2% change in the rate of the gold and the silver. In this situation, again, the stochastic is not expected to collapse down and to approve a good trade below the 25 as we used to. So going to 5-minute will allow you to catch moves like that. As you can see, we had several good trades on that one. Any kind of trade with a good entrance point is a profitable trade joining this uptrend movement. That completes our session for today. I wish you all the best with your trades, and again, use your brokers. They got an enormous amount of knowledge. They'll be able to assist you with anything that you need. Have a pleasant day, and bye bye.